Practice automation tip number 2, how to automate your patient education without lifting a finger. So there's a couple different scenarios with this. You're either doing a lot of patient education, either live seminars in your office, handing out flyers, creating your own content, hiring a nutritionist, teaching people how to eat, giving them resources to go look up themselves. It's just not an efficient system. Or better yet, you're not doing any education at all, which is lowering your referral rate, lowering your compliance with your patients. You're just getting by with your patient care. You're not over delivering what your patients are coming for. So being able to automate your patient education without lifting a finger. I have the software, I have the content, I have the curriculums all built out for you where you can add value to your case fees, engage your patients, keep them accountable, track them, remind them, all in one place. So let's dive in. All right, guys. So practice automation tip number 2, how to automate your patient education without lifting a finger. With our curriculums, each niche has its own patient curriculum. You enroll the patient into the software. It teaches them the program online throughout the care. If they're doing home care, if they're coming in the office, they're teaching them a curriculum around that niche. So if it's weight loss, it's going to be weight loss driven. If it's neuropathy, it's going to be neuropathy driven. If it's chiropractic, it's going to be chiropractic driven. So every niche has its own curriculum. Each day they'll get a wellness tip of the day. Well, they'll get a video to watch. They'll get a recipe of the day. So if it's a neuropathy program, it's going to be a non-inflammatory recipe. If it's a Trust Your Gut program, which is our functional medicine program, well, if it's in phase 1, we're taking all nightshades out. We're taking gluten out. We're taking processed foods out. So it's going to be around that protocol. So every day they'll get a recipe of the day per the niche they're in. Now, do they have to follow the recipes? No, because in their patient handbook, each niche has its own designed patient handbook, and it's going to give them food lists to follow. There's going to be food lists online. So between the online education curriculums and the handbook, they're going to be doing all of their education online and at home, not in your office. They're going to get extreme value every single day. Now, past the recipe, they'll get a product tip of the day. So let's say it's a weight loss program. They're going to be taking a certain product. They're going to be reminded of why they're taking it. They're going to have things that they're going to have to check off to tell you that they did what they're supposed to do that day. They're going to check off that they watched the video, that they took their supplements, that they read their message of the day, their motivating tip of the day. And if they don't go in and check it off, it's going to remind them that say, hey, we have unchecked tasks we have tasks that have not been completed today. So let's say it's 5 o'clock and Betty forgot to weigh herself and she's on a weight loss program. She forgot to log her weight on our platform. It's going to remind her, hey, you didn't log your weight today. So you as a practitioner can look that up and see exactly what she's done. The entire curriculum is robust. It reminds your patients, it educates your patients, it keeps them engaged. You don't have to do any more live seminars in your office. Me, at one point, I was doing a seminar a week on a different topic, on a wellness topic. We were handing out messages of the day, flyers to get or articles on different topics to educate our patients. We were spending a lot of face time at the adjusting table, at the front desk, in the rehab area, talking about specific wellness topics because we had an agenda. This week, we're going to teach people about gluten. And it took a lot of time. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of energy. And it took a lot of planning. We had to create our own content, find the articles, find the content. You know, if we wanted them to learn about nutrition, we had to write the protocols and we had to get them resources. Everything is shoved into one software that does it for you in an automated format. So let's look at Dr. A. Dr. A has lack of patient education. So let's say you're not even doing patient education. That's a bigger problem than you being busy doing the education. So Dr. A has a lack of education. He or she is spending a lot of staff hours in their time educating through talks, questions, manual education. They're spending a lot of time and energy trying to accomplish that and keep their patients engaged every single visit when they come in. So let's look at Dr. B and the time and energy. Dr. B, 100 active patients, let's say 30 minutes per patient per week on average that you want to spend with a patient, either having them go home and do stuff or talk about it in the office to them, sending them home with articles, trying to find resources for them. Let's say 30 minutes per week. At 300, that's 3,000 minutes. That's 50 hours per week that you could be spending a total amount of time of planning, distributing the information, talk time that you should be spending with your patients. If you're not, then you need to be figuring out how you can engage your patients and put this value inside their case fee. Because lack of education, that's when patients start dropping off of care. They stop being engaged. They don't refer. They ask for refunds because you're not over delivering what they paid for. Because that's the expectation of the patient today. They want more than what they pay for. So automated patient education is going to be key in this scenario. So let's go through the collections and money. Dr. A, no patient perceived value. Okay, patients aren't going to pay for your care. If they don't see perceived value in the program of care that you're offering or the service that you're offering, then they're not going to become a patient. They're not going to give you money. But imagine having an automated patient education system, a tracking system, accountability system, all built in one software that you can actually say, Mary, you're going to become a patient and this is everything you're going to have access to. And that patient can say, wow, that's a lot for that much money. That's a no-brainer to me. Dr. A, less referrals. If you're not educating your patients and keeping them engaged or over-delivering in service, they're not going to refer to your office. Plain and simple. Dr. A pays unnecessary staff for hours to deliver the service. So like I said, spending a lot of time, spending a lot of energy, paying your staff for hours taken to deliver education to your patients when you can have it in an automated format and have your staff working on more productive things in your office, having this on autopilot. So let's look at Dr. B and the collections of money. If you take 50 hours, let's just say 100 times $100 per hour, that's $5,000 a week, okay? That's in monetary value, your staff time, your planning, your time. Let's take an average of $100 an hour. $5,000 per week. $5,000 per week times 4 weeks is $20,000 per month in value gained per month. Let's say you get 10 resigns and referrals throughout the month, and that average an extra $3,000. That's $30,000 per month in just referrals and resigns, or people staying under care and being able to bill their insurance, whatever you're doing. Keeping business in your office because you're over delivering with your service and having access to this type of automated education and tracking and accountability systems. A full-time employee to be an accountability person, a nutritionist, someone that tracks your employees to make sure that they're staying on track, that's a full-time employee. An employee is $4,000 a month. Having that type of caliber person that's a nutritionist, a motivational speaker, a person that keeps them accountable, tracks them, $4,000 a month. Easy, maybe more. So total revenue gained is $54,000 per month, okay? Of possible revenue gained and value gained in just having an automated process in a software that tracks, keeps accountable, educates all in one. They can log all their food, they can log all their water intake activity, they can journal, they can even submit virtual questions to your office and service the patient 24/7. Now, I'm not saying you have to answer questions in the middle of the night, but when a patient knows that they have access to you at any time, that means you're servicing them every single day with the daily messages and the ability to reach out to you every single day. They won't. Questions are questions, and they're very common. They're always the common questions. So let's look at the freedom aspect of this. Dr. A, delivering subpar service. There's no freedom in subpar service. Tied up in the process or lack thereof one. So that means that you're tied up in the process of trying to educate your patients with the seminars and handing flyers out and doing manual things in the office, or you're just lacking that process altogether and not adding any type of value to your care. Again, Dr. B, having this process in place has more time, more energy, collecting more money, saving money, having staff working on more effective things in their practice, having more time with their family, have more time with your hobbies, becoming a CEO because you're extracting you and your staff out of this process and having a system run for you 24/7 while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're at your kid's soccer game, while you're at your daughter's wedding, whatever it may be. Whatever you're doing, this system's working 24/7.